Welcome everybody to the Mini Slab Lounge. This is the Mini Slab Lounge is not the Slab Lounge in the traditional sense, because this is actually a shorter version of what we usually talk about, and or rather, how do I put this? We don't go all over the place like we do. This is just a singular topic, and our normal Slab Lounge formula will return eventually once we can get like stable schedules. Because anyway. So, in this particular case scenario, the thing that I wanted to bring up are lawsuits. Because, yes, the hammer finally came down. Nintendo is suing Palworld. Ooh. Now, I know, right? But, like, no surprise from here. Like, I was, when I told you, Robert, and Gabe, like, oh, Nintendo's going after Palworld. They didn't necessarily say for what, and now they actually like came out and said for what. At first, when I saw the headline, Nintendo suing Palworld, I honestly thought this was a slap suit, and I was like, wait a minute, does Japan even have slap suits? And I googled, does Nihon, because I want to actually like be appropriate culturally. Instead of calling it Japan, I want to call it Nihon. I was like, does Nihon have slap suits? They still do. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Maybe they just want to bleed them dry. And then I actually clicked on the headline to read the actual thing. And I was quite surprised. This is not a slap suit. This is not a slap suit. Because because I thought they were going after Palworld for copyright infringement. Which is what you do in a slap suit, because, because copyright infringement, that's really hard to prove, and Nintendo's just all, like, being a petty bitch. Like, no. They're going after for patent infringement, and I'm just like, whoa!
So that explains why it didn't happen sooner, because would have happened way sooner.
Researching, too.
Okay, so, like, I'll speak for Nintendo on this, even though, I have zero proof, and you could say, like, oh, Doug's being a Nintendo fanboy. But no, like, if they wanted to sue them, like, they would have, like, hella earlier. But I'm pretty sure that the Nintendo lawyers, because, let's face it, Nintendo has world-class lawyers. Let's face honest-to-God facts. I mean, it took Nintendo 17 years to do it, but when it finally happened, they managed to get Gary's Mod to remove all Nintendo assets, or else they would have sued them to oblivion. I mean, we're talking, like, that's how good the Nintendo lawyers are. I mean, we're talking about a company that will unzip its pants and whip out their lawyers if you so much as fart in their general direction. Like, I'm dead fucking serious. So I'm like, okay, why patent infringement? So as it turns out, there are game design techniques or game design things that are patented. For instance, I'm assuming you both played Crazy Taxi, right?
Yeah.
What?
When EA made Simpsons Road Rage.
Oh yeah, KFC Crazy Driver. I think that was called.
Yeah. I thought it was. I thought Sega sued them for copyright infringement. No, turns out Sega had a patent on it. It was patent infringement. And it's important to know. Okay, so people, here's the difference between copyright and patenting. Patenting means that you have a specific way of doing things, and that if another company tries to copy it, you can't do that. Copyright infringement is something infinitely harder to prove, because while you can have something copyrighted, like let's say a design or like Mickey Mouse or some shit like that, because Mickey Mouse is in public domain now, then you can't draw anything like Mickey Mouse or some shit like that, while Disney still had the copyright protection before it entered public domain. The problem is, in fact, before I get started with the problem, the thing is, Nintendo actually got in trouble for patent infringement because Nokia successfully won a case against Nintendo for, I think it was patent infringement during the Wii days, because the Wiimote infringed on the patent Nokia actually had. And that is what Pal World is being sued for, patent infringement. Now, a lot of people are still wondering what, and the Pal World devs don't even know what patent they infringed upon. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's probably the Pokeball stuff, because, Nintendo has a patent. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I wouldn't think it would be the Pokeball. They're not the first to even use something similar to a Pokeball.
Well, I mean, the thing is...
because I wouldn't say the monsters either, because you have Monster Rancher, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I've been thinking, but, Monster Rancher hasn't seen an iteration for a while now, and Monster Rancher was made by Hudson Soft. After Konami bought them out, they've essentially sat on that IP, as well as others like Bomberman, Bonk, Bloody Roar, etc., etc. So I don't think Nintendo has any problem with that in particular. Now, Nintendo does have a patent on the game mechanics for Pokeballs, using having the Pokemon attack and storing and caring for Pokemon. And by storing and caring is particularly like how you can pet your Pokemon, feed them, etc., etc. They're patented. Those are patented. And and again, this is all speculation because the thing hasn't been unsealed. Like, no one really knows what Nintendo is going after them for patent infringement is. However, I mean, the reason why
I still don't think it's that, because even right now, there are indie games coming out with that type of capture thing, and I wouldn't think Nintendo would have waited around preparing to go to Pal World to let everybody else also create something similar off of what Pal World was doing too.
Mm-hmm.
So I still don't think it's that's the patent that they're going after.
Well, like I said,
but I'm trying to think what stands out between, because I have Pal World, so I'm trying to think what stands out between the two that it might be.
I think the main, I'm only reiterating what the theory is. I'm not gonna say this is what they're going for completely. I understand that Nintendo wants Pal World out, and for good reason, because Pal World will create has created some form of brand confusion. Let me expand upon this. The poster, last I checked, the what's the word I'm looking for? What's the package art, right? Last I checked, it has not Raichu on it, right? Or am I wrong on that?
Yeah, no, it usually has the what is not Raichu with gun.
So, and to be fair, the poster child for Pokemon is Pikachu. So there is brand confusion on that front. And some people are just, and a lot of internet personalities are actually furious at Nintendo, talking about this is stifling creativity, and the Pal World devs they're saying they're a small indie developer, and they're just trying to carve out their own thing. I'm and here I am just going motherfucker, why are you, what? Did they pay you to say that? Are you fucking serious? Do you have any idea? I mean, Nintendo, you have I'm pretty sure, I am 100% sure, because I've seen it in the past, when you have reported Nintendo stomped out a community-driven Smash Brothers tournament. Do you really think this is a surprise to you? I mean, what the fuck is wrong with, what, do you think Nintendo is the only company that will whip out its lawyer dick? Let's not set aside Disney for a second, because I will bring up Disney in a sec. But let's look at Sony or Microsoft. But let's first focus on Sony. I don't know if you two knew about this, but there was an actual Bloodborne mod that was going to take Bloodborne and turn it into a kart racer, a Mario Kart clone.
Yeah, I heard rumor of it.
It's more than just a rumor. They actually have playable builds, and they're actually nearing release. Sony went after them, and they were just all dude, do us a favor. If you don't want to be sued to oblivion, do not call it Bloodborne Kart. call it something else. We don't want Bloodborne associated with this. You call it something else. And they did exactly that. Because, like, they just did not want Sony coming after them. Rightfully so. Because why would you... Because it's Sony, and you don't want to infringe on their shit.
Yeah. Especially even nowadays. Their hand's a bit large. Mm-hmm. It's a bit sizable to be suddenly being like, I don't need to work with you. Oh, really? See how long that lasts.
Disney has gone after creators in the past. They famously went after Deadmau5, who actually hosts like techno and EDM events. And Deadmau5 had an agreement with Disney so that Disney won't come after them, because Deadmau5 can be misconstrued as Mickey Mouse before the copyright before copyright protections expired. Disney had an agreement, and they still went after Deadmau5. So you really think it's just that Nintendo will always they'll whip out their lawyer dick. So why? So I'm pretty sure Nintendo wants Pal World out, because they would not be suing for patent infringement. That is very specific language. Patent versus copyright infringement. I was like hardcore caught off guard. I was like, oh, I thought maybe Nintendo wants Pal World to pay up some royalties or some shit. No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like that still wilds me out. I mean, like Nintendo's pissed.
But that's what I said. If it's patent infringement that they're going after them, that's why they probably waited that time, because they had the lawyers researching every bit of everything, seeing how it's filed before they even moved forward. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason they've been sitting there this long, because we all knew when it first came out, we were just looking over at Nintendo being like, how long? How long before you say something? Like, everyone knew. So it's weird that anyone would be surprised suddenly, like, oh, they would never. Like, what are you talking about? We've been counting since day one. The moment that you caught any one of those pals, you were like, when is it coming?
What I'm wondering, go for it, Robert. Like, I thought, do you have a...
No, I was just saying, right? Like, that's why what they done right so far makes more sense, because honestly, I thought they would have came out way sooner.
Yeah, me too.
Like, right when they had a thought, they would have been there with the cease and desist letter.
Mm-hmm. But that's what it was, because if they had just rolled out, it could have been just pushed off as frivolous. But you come in about patent, which has things filed. Yeah. You can't come in and pretend like that. Oh, we were doing that before. Not according to these files right here. Mm-hmm. They were doing it before you.
Mm-hmm. And it's not and for the record, there are companies that have patent like certain game mechanics. Sega aside, Namco, before they became Bandai Namco, they actually did patent. What was it? Like, I forget the actual terminology, but it was like games between games. Like, if you're sitting, like, let's say a game is loading, you get to play a game while the game itself is loading. They actually had a patent on that. And no other company could actually do something about it. Because, so, like, let's say you were playing Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, because Morrowind had some pretty fucking long load times. You couldn't do anything about it, because Namco had a patent on it. So if you actually had a game within that loading screen, guess what? Namco could sue the shit out of you. That's like one of the other more famous cases. They don't do it anymore now because, like, what with level streaming and all that nonsense, things loading in the background, you don't come across that nonsense. But, like, one thing that I'm wondering is, what is Sony going to do? Because if you two don't know, as well as the audience, Sony and Pal World actually signed an agreement for a partnership of some kind. So if Sony still wants to honor that partnership, technically speaking, Nintendo, they could be found liable. I mean, it's not like the Activision Blizzard takeover that Microsoft did. They knew, like, Microsoft knew they'd be liable if they bought Activision Blizzard. Because, like, that lawsuit is still happening, and that means they get hit. The only reason why Microsoft was still willing to buy it was they want those IPs. They want Warcraft. They want Overwatch, etc. Call of Duty, etc., 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 etc. But with this new development, Sony could. What's Sony gonna do? Are they gonna like go to bat? I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, on one hand, because Palworld is a major success. But on the other hand, if they lose, guess what? Nintendo can go after them for a shitload of money. And, yeah. I mean, on top of, I'm pretty sure Nintendo wants Palworld shut down. That has to be a given. That has to be a given. But if they go after, like, Sony, what in the fuck are they gonna do? I mean, like, is Sony even gonna, like, try, or are they gonna walk back the deal? And if they walk back the deal, technically speaking, Palworld can't sue them, but at the same time, Palworld's got bigger problems to deal with. Because, yeah, Nintendo does not fuck around when it comes to using their lawyers. I mean, they
ain't getting no patch updates done for a while.
Right?
Just saying, they're not gonna have the time to be updating anything, so...
Yeah, look, I hope Palworld is still up and running? Yes, not because I have a vested interest. I don't give a shit about Palworld. I still don't. I don't really want to play it. Like, it doesn't interest me. But I'm just more concerned for the people that work at the company. I mean, look at Tango Gameworks, right? Like, after Hi-Fi Rush came out, the studio shut down. Granted, it's because, I still say it's because Shinji Mikami left, but you still had those people, like, out of a job. And again, granted, the publisher of PUBG bought them up. Even they're saying, like, Hi-Fi Rush 2 isn't gonna get us a profit. So, I mean, I don't want the devs of Palworld losing a job. I want Palworld to stay active because it encourages competition, the way Yu-Gi-Oh, the way Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon did. Magic the Gathering was always around. The only reason why Hasbro hasn't gone after Nintendo is because no, they don't want, because they can't go. So the creator of Magic the Gathering is Wizards of the Coast. They're owned by Hasbro. Now, a lot of people still stress to this day that Pokemon, the card game, is a Magic the Gathering ripoff. And yeah, that I can see where they're coming from. But at the same time, that's copyright infringement. And Hasbro does not have the time to try to prove that there was copyright infringement. Because Magic the Gathering is mainly fantasy, wizards, and, all that nonsense. Pokemon, on the other hand, takes place in a completely different time period. Encompasses all all areas of the pop culture spectrum, from anime lovers to goth to just whatever.
Cyberpunk Pikachu.
I mean, there wasn't a Cyber Mewtwo because that was just made for the anime. But the point that I'm trying to make is Hasbro has better things to worry about than trying to go after Nintendo for copyright infringement, because that's infinitely harder to prove, considering how both those card games take place in completely different time periods. So Hasbro has that uphill battle. And as far as I know, Hasbro, Hasbro has to have a patent on how its card game system works, Nintendo has its own. And that's just how that particular cookie crumbles. With Sony, like, what are they going to do? Like, they're in this weird catch-22 position. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're going to just have to see how it goes. That's really...
I mean, I think the smart thing for them to do, I guess, is go through Discovery, see what they have, then distance themselves.
I mean, that's the only thing they honestly can do. I mean, like,
at least you can get some insight of how they work, and then they can be like, oh, we'll just do this better. And then basically sacrificial lamb the people underneath them.
Oh, they've been doing that too. I mean, Jesus Christ. Here's hoping. Like I said, here's hoping. Pal World stays up and running. But while I hope for the best, I'm planning for the worst. And if Pal World gets shut down, I hope that they issue. No, there's probably going to be a court order that they get that the customers get refunded their money. But
I don't think they're gonna get their money back.
I think they will. They'll have to, because let me put it to you this way: if when Silicon Knights sued Epic Games way back in the day, because Silicon Knights didn't know how to code in Unreal Engine 3 and they were just being a bunch of whiny bitches. Not only did the court basically say destroy any copies of that one X-Men game they were working on, or that they worked on and released, they were also ordered to refund anyone that sent them said copy, which also caused Silicon Knights to go bankrupt and eventually shut down. So take from that what you will. I just hope the best outcome for everyone considered is that Nintendo gets damages, they get royalties, because of course they will. If they get any form of ownership, that would also be a plus for them, because of course they'll probably do that. But they'll probably also have a thing saying they own the IP, because but at the very least, Palworld can still stay up and running. At the very least. I mean, it's a shit world. Look, I'm not saying... Look, Nintendo, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself this. Why, in God's name, would you make an IP that you say is inspired by one of the most popular things in pop culture, period, that's owned by a company that's willing to use their lawyers for anything? I mean anything. Why would you do that? And when you see the lawsuit come at you, you're going to be surprised? You really going to say you're going to be surprised at this? Really? Really? Nintendo? Did you know there was a Japanese company that actually had a kart racing thing, and they actually had Mario costumes, but they just didn't call it Mario?
Mario costume? You mean suspenders? Or the overalls?
with not
overalls.
Okay. I'm serious. They actually had a not Mario costume, not Luigi costume, not Daisy, not Peach, not Toad, not Yoshi. And they were completely distinct. They were legally, technically speaking, from a legal standpoint.
Wait. I don't think the overall costume makes Mario. I think it's the mustache.
It doesn't matter. Legally speaking, they were distinct enough so that it wasn't copyright infringement. Nintendo went after them. And the company... That kart racing company, it's still up and running. It is still up and running. They're still in business. But they had to take every costume. They had to actually prove to Nintendo that they repainted every single kart racer. And they had to change their name.
Because I'm okay, so overall, I don't know how you make it more distinct. What if they just got, those jumpsuits that janitors wear, and you just have a regular go-kart?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nintendo still, went after them. Even though Nintendo, technically speaking, didn't have a leg to stand on, they still gave them a slap suit. And the kart racer company, they fought it for a little bit, but at the end of the day, they did what Nintendo wanted. They didn't have to pay Nintendo any royalties. They didn't have to shut down, but they had to do what Nintendo said. Change all the shit. Prove to us that you are, and they apparently had to send a video of them painting over the fucking kart racers. Talking about how they, and it was just, it's fucking wild, but at the end of the day, you're talking about Nintendo. They will go after you for anything. If you
how come people don't go after Nintendo for their soccer and tennis game? Real tennis pros should go after Tennis. You're just jacking what we do.
You really want us to try to sue Nintendo? They are.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Robert.
Let's
Go right
do
ahead.
it.
Go right ahead. Just don't say you're.
This is my
just don't
pursuit of
say-
happiness moment.
Just don't say you're representing Mad Henhouse because I will distance myself from you real quick. Are you
I was
fucking?
like, I don't know you.
I don't know.
No, I'm putting both of y'all as co right there.
Nope. Fuck you.
Nope, I got enough aliases. I can stop going by my name.
No. Keep in mind, I'm known as Doug, not Dog'em. I will go back to being Dog'em like a motherfucker. Hell, one of my buddies used to call me Dougie Fresh. I'll be like, yeah, you can call me Fresh. Fuck you. Are you kidding me? I mean, like, why would you? What? Look, the Power World devs had to have known.
I would think
this.
maybe they were just like old enemies, and you're just like, I think these people got soft. Let's see if we get away with this shit. But they also use. That's why they also use a dummy company they can dispose of too. You know.
I mean, I guess. I mean,
Because that's how you do business. You gotta, like, if you want to check, like, heat check. So we want to prod, but we don't want to expose ourselves. We need Apache.
I mean, that's one way of looking at it, but, like, I don't know. Why would you dance with the devil like that? Look, even with the initial success, like, and don't get me wrong, I am happy with Power World's success. I really am. But, like, I was just all like, it's only a matter of time. I mean, and then I read that Nintendo was going after Pal World to you, Robert, Captain Kane, Gabe, and that one time when Gabe guested. And then the hammer finally came down, and I'm just all like, it was expected. It was expected. Like, you don't do. Oh man, I mean, like, I
want to make a game called Louis Seven Figures House.
I really do feel bad for the Power World devs. Not the lead game designer, because that bastard had to have known this was something like this was going to happen. But so
he probably has a job with Sony already lined up. Like, he just came in, like, to prove himself, and he's just going to be out. Like, I'm fine.
I feel so bad for the devs. I hope the devs, the studio doesn't shut down. I really do. What do you think Nintendo's going to take them over? Like, win them in the group? It wouldn't surprise me. It honestly would not surprise me. Them just taking over the studio and then just like, if they disband it, that's one thing. Like, I'm pretty sure they won't disband the staff. I'm pretty sure they'll tell the staff to work here, and here. But, like, yeah, they'll take all the IPs and, like, just kill them. Just kill them. Like, this isn't the first time those devs have been accused of essentially ripping an artist or another thing off. Pal World has done something like no, the Pal World. I forget the dev's actual name, but like they actually did another game for Pal World that catapulted them to this status. Another game that a lot of people were just like, wait a minute, this looks like this. And everybody was everybody just shut the fuck up about it. And then Pal World came about, and, you know, that happened. Do I want to accuse them of using AI? I'll take the game developer's word for it, when they say, no, we don't use AI. And I'm like, okay with that, but, like, I
mean, they can take some of the people, put them on Game Freak, get the new Pokemon for the new Switch 2 that they announced.
Yeah, but it's just, I hope that studio stays open. I hope all those devs still have a job. If Pal World shuts down, so fucking be it. I mean, like, don't say, like, oh, Doug, you're stifling creativity. It's not... I'm not gonna say it's creativity when, you know, it's clear. It's really clear, man. I mean, that is... You're gonna tell me that's not Pokemon? Really? Really, dude? Really? That's a hard... that's an uphill battle on your part, dude. And it's not even And that's not even the only lawsuit I wanted to bring up. Granted, the Nintendo one, that is the biggest of the big. Get this, Stellar Blade is actually facing a lawsuit in and of itself.
Oh.
Yeah. There is a company that's not only suing Stellar Blade, but Sony for copyright infringement. Because Stellar Blade, yeah, I know. Because Stellar Blade, the domain name, I forget the actual, it's like either a real estate company or a law firm. They have been using StellarBlade.com for the longest time. For the longest time. Whoa! Anyway, they actually sued Sony and the Stellar Blade people for copyright infringement because Stellar Blade is in their trademark. Why they waited? Go for it.
That's dumb.
Preaching to the choir.
That doesn't even make sense why they would do that. Because I can understand, it would be one thing if Stellar Blade, the game, was doing anything that could bring negativity to their business. I am quite sure nobody is going to that law firm to look for big-busted, small-waisted, battle-ready androids to also process their cases. So, what the fuck? Were y'all just out of cases and you need to do something?
I'm pretty sure they would, unlike Nintendo, who had to dot the I's and cross the T's. I'm pretty sure they waited for the Stellar Blade hype or whatever you want to call it to
die down.
Yeah, to die down before they hit Sony with the lawsuit. Because
it's kind of weird, right? Because like Sony's lawyers are always on the defensive, Nintendo's always on the offensive.
Yeah,
not really. Like I said, I just gave you that Bloodborne thing, man. Sony went after them.
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems like Sony. Well, Sony does go out on other people, but it seems like there's always a lot of lawsuits against Sony. While Nintendo's more like I'm going after everyone else. While a lot of people are going after Nintendo.
Wow. you gotta be sure. You have to line up your shots if you're going after Nintendo. Like I said, Nokia.
I'm gonna Hamilton this bitch.
Nokia won that patent infringement lawsuit with the Wiimote. They won that lawsuit against Nintendo. And
but at what cost?
You should. Yeah, but think about how much money they got back. They got Nintendo money. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway,
yeah, I want a percentage of that Nintendo land, a free pass.
I'm pretty sure that's. Oh my god! I didn't even know. It was wait, Nintendo. I know. Wow. Okay. I did not Okay.
There's no Sony land.
Either way, with the Stellar Blade bit, I was legit really, huh? I didn't know StellarBlade.com was a thing. It was, it is, and that company is suing Sony because Sony backed Stellar Blade. They sued the Stellar Blade devs. And because Sony backed them, right from the jump, that means Sony's liable. But what's weird to me is, why didn't Sony pick up on that? Either they knew, and they're willing to take the hit, or Sony's legal team's a fucking idiot.
I'm saying, maybe there's a people that's just out there who likes to dream of danger, working for Sony. With Power World, this...
Well, with Palworld, that's a different story. Palworld, they. Well, you know what? No, maybe you're right, Robert. Maybe you're right. They just love the danger. After all, this was the same studio. Sony's the same people that's oh, Nathan Drake, blah 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 blah.
They fight with that. They fight it with Marvel. They fight it with other people. There's to fight.
Okay, so with the Disney fight, I will get behind Sony's back on that, because they legit bought that Spider-Man license, and with Disney doing what they're trying to do, like, no, fuck you. I'm on Sony's side on that. Like, that was all manner of fucked up.
See, that's what I've been saying. Like, how crazy does it be a Sony lawyer? It just seems like you're fighting multiple fronts.
Well, I mean, at the very least, the Sony-Disney fight, it died down. I mean, it's not dead yet, because I'm pretty sure that Disney's going to try something else that's shady as fuck, but, especially considering how...
Sony too was going to fight with Apple.
Wait, what?
Sony was going to fight with Apple too, maybe Amazon.
Are you kidding? In the hell no.
I'm calling it now. Put money on that money line. Next 2 years.
Apple has more money than Disney. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. Still, put in the money. Next 2 years, Sony will have a fight with Apple.
Okay, fine. Let's do that. But I'm pretty sure Disney's gonna try some shady shit, especially with Insomniac doing that Wolverine game. Like, yeah. Like, I'm damn sure they're gonna try something shady. Like, they will. They absolutely will. But like, in terms of the Spider-Man franchise, yeah, no, I'm legitimately behind, like, Sony's back. They bought that license, rightfully so. And while I'm fine with Disney canceling Spectacular Spider-Man because, like, after they acquired Marvel, the animation license, it's on there. It's theirs, so they're just all like, yeah, okay, we can do whatever we want with Spider-Man. The animated on the TV screen, not the movie screen. But like, in terms of the movie, when they were just all like, oh, we'll do more Spider-Man work, we'll take up more of the costs, and we'll take more of the profits. And Sony was like, no, fuck you. We bought this. We'll do it. This is our thing. And when when Sony said it, like, yeah, no, Disney's being a bitch. Yeah, it's not even that's not even the first time Disney was being a dick. When they bought Fox, you know what they tried to do with the Simpsons? Here's what they tried to do. They went up to the Simpsons writing staff and all this shit, and they're all like, "We'll be fine. We're fine with you doing whatever it is that you want, and we'll be okay with it. But, and this is the big but, don't make fun of Mickey Mouse." You know what the Simpsons team did?
Made fun of Mickey Mouse.
Yep. They make fun of Mickey Mouse. They had that special. They had that special where, like, Disney, like, was going to, like, a bunch of Disney characters were going to Moe's Tavern. And like, although they saw the shadow of Mickey Mouse, it was Bart cosplaying as Mickey Mouse. The message was clear. The message was clear. The Simpsons did not give a fuck about what Disney wants. Because, like, think about it. What the fuck is Disney gonna do? What are they gonna do? Fucking cancel The Simpsons? Are they gonna have to face that backlash? Me and Robert actually... Yeah. Captain, before you came on, I want to say, what was it, like a week or two ago? Like, me and Robert, we were talking about, like, it would be, like, because, like, there were rumors that Disney was going to cancel The Simpsons because, like, I think it was, like, 1 or 2 episodes are going to be on either Disney Plus or Hulu exclusively. And I still say, that Disney's testing the waters to see how many people sign up for a Disney Plus account. If they can get The Simpsons on Disney Plus exclusive, that shit would skyrocket. Subscriptions would fucking skyrocket. And for good reason, yeah. Because it's The Simpsons. You don't just get rid of... You don't just cancel them outright. Fox already tried with Simpsons season 29, and the Simpsons they wrote out that future episode where Bart and Lisa get drunk in the treehouse because their kids don't respect them. But, like, at the end of the day, they renewed, And they renewed again, and they renewed again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And even when they got bought out, they still got renewed. And, like, how... So, it just goes to show you that, who was it? I think Al Jean, no, yeah, not Al Jean. I think it is Al Jean who's the current showrunner. He said in an interview, he's like, I don't know if The Simpsons can be canceled, because how can you fucking cancel it? Think about it. 36 years The Simpsons has been on. For a good chunk, they have been in the unsure period because, like, a lot of the episodes... Well, no, I can't say a lot of the episodes or all of the episodes. There were some good ones during those years. But then, The Simpsons Renaissance happened that I still got behind. Like, Simflix with the Serious Flanders, the Bart's New Teacher with Kerry Washington's character, and the only reason why I can barely watch them now is because they sound super old, but at the same time, yeah, but like, it's still like, I gotta admit, it's fucking funny as shit. Like, I love what they're doing now. I mean, I might actually watch one of the Simpsons season 36's episodes, because apparently, like, Bart's gonna celebrate his 11th birthday after 30 plus years, and I'm just...
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know, right? But, like, at the same time, at the end of the day, think about it. Simpsons has survived all of the competition. Even The Walking Dead, which is still, like, I think Walking Dead is still, technically speaking, the highest rated cable show, considering how Norman Reedus...
Dude, it's the highest because they come up with bullshit like Walking Dead, talking about Walking Dead. Here's another Walking Dead fucking spinoff, which is the same exact some shit, man.
Well, no, it's still like Norman Reedus is still the highest paid actor on cable TV right now. And...
So they're trying to treat it like Law and Order? I mean, I love Law and Order. I'm still watching that shit.
Well, yeah, but, like, still, look at what this... There were rivals that still, like, came after The Simpsons, and they still beat them down. And, you can...
I think American Dad is coming up there.
Yes, and same goes
I
with
think American Dad is Seth MacFarlane's best show.
And same goes with Bob's Burgers. And you can take what I'm saying with a large grain of salt, because I'm still going to say I'm a Simpsons fanboy. Like, I am a Simpsons fanboy. But, like, if Disney can get The Simpsons on Disney Plus exclusive, you know those subscription numbers are going to skyrocket. Because as it stands right now, Disney Plus and Netflix are still neck and neck. Neck and fucking neck. And, as it stands, Disney has a slight edge. And even then, that's not necessarily saying much. Because all the streaming services... Because I hesitate to bring this up, but, like, the reason why I hesitate to bring this up is because this particular thing wasn't on, like, the streaming wars, but more and more news outlets are coming out in favor of it. All the subscription-based stream services cannot compare to YouTube streaming. Because YouTube streaming is still owning. Like, they are just dominating. Because, and to be fair, it makes complete sense. YouTube streaming is free. You don't have to subscribe to anything and all that shit. But, like, if they can... But, like, But as it's... Like, I'm still gonna treat, like, Disney's main competition being Netflix. Because, rightfully so, Netflix is still Netflix. And Disney has that slight edge, you know what I mean? Does that make any sense to anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's... Ooh. Ooh. I don't know. Here's hoping, like, here's hope, like, I will still be that guy that's just like, don't put it on on Disney Plus. Just let The Simpsons do what Simpsons does best. and they will continue to make fun of you, and you just have to take it. I don't even know why you're going to, like, be a bitch about them making fun of Mickey Mouse, considering how Steamboat Willie is now public domain. So shut the fuck up, Disney. You know what I mean? Anyway, but that being said, we are coming close to time, and I don't want to keep going. Like, the lawsuits. Just the lawsuits. Jesus Christ. It is a strange time to be alive. Am I right? Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to this mini Slab Lounge. As far as what day this is going to come out, I don't know, probably Friday. Like, in all honesty. Like, no,
Unless we get a cease and desist letter from Nintendo.
Wait, what?
So unless we get a cease and desist letter from Nintendo.
You know what's really funny? When I was writing up, like, a bunch of exclusive news skits, I was actually thinking, like, just doing a thing on, they don't call it Nintendo, but, like, Cyrus Jenkins, the author, he's all, the anchor, he's all like, you know, I'm gonna test the waters. I'm gonna say the big N name. Nintendo, and then like, before, like, he could say Nintendo, so, one of the producers, Phil, he just tackles, like, he just tackles, Cyrus and yells no. So, like, the order of operations is like, you know what? I'm gonna test the waters. I'm gonna say the big N's name. Nintendo. No! Because they're so litigious. Well, fuck it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this mini Slab Lounge. We will continue to do this mini Slab Lounge thing until we can actually get our schedules in alignment. Hopefully when the planets align, and we can actually, like, just do our normal Slab Lounge routine, rather than just having to focus on one specific subject matter. That being said, you take care, everyone, and later on.